I love about her is she is a very, very competitive person and an athlete. And she's going to share with us why this new version of Nutricentials is so much improved over the other one. And I mean, I love using it. So, Lisa, I want to turn it over to you to share your wisdom and knowledge and heart about, all the time you spent developing this product. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with everyone and get to share a little bit of what I've been working on for the past couple of years. Before I kind of jump into the products, I just wanted to say that I've been in the industry for quite a while, ever since I was in college. And one of the reasons that I was drawn to Nu Skin, I came here for an interview and I met the people, I saw the vision, and I just saw that they really wanted to change people's lives and create these products. And I wanted to be a part of that. And so the minute I got back from that interview, I said, if they ask me to take this job, I'm going to take it in a heartbeat and move all the way from the East Coast of the US. I lived in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I'm going to move out to Utah to take this opportunity because it's something that I want to be a part of. And so let me go ahead and share my screen, and I will let you know about the new Nutricentials. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, one thing you'll notice about this new Nutricentials is that we've added bioadaptive skincare to the name, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. Now, everyone in their day-to-day life faces stress. You have external stress from UV from the sun, blue light from your devices, pollution, lack of sleep. I mean, just your life. You cannot escape it. And as Jeff was saying, I know a lot about that. I work full time and I am a wife and I have 3 little girls, 2 9-year-old twins and an 8-year-old. So my life is really busy. And so I need to be able to do what I can to kind of survive this crazy life. And I also want to make sure that my skin looks the best so I can feel my best. And so what this new Nutricentials bioadaptive skincare does is it makes your skin resilient and it helps your skin better adapt to its changing environment, because we're never just stagnant in our lives. You all know this. You're incredibly busy. We're moving from one thing to the next thing. Your skincare needs to be able to help your skin adapt to everything that you're going to do. And we want you to feel confident about how your skin looks. And so we want to make every day a great skin day. And one thing before I get started, really I'm going to do a broad overview of 3 of the platforms of Nutricentials. But I just want to let you know, you can see all the products at the bottom of my screen here. There are quite a few that we're launching, and they all have their own unique story. And I could speak to you all day about all of the unique, interesting ingredients and why we crafted them. Because with all of Nu Skin's R&D's experience, we carefully craft our products to ensure that you get a product that works. You get the efficacy that you want, but it also is a product that you want to use. It has a great fragrance, it feels great, and it makes you feel great when you use it. So just remember, this is just the tip of the iceberg of the new Nutricentials. Now, looking at our 3 key Nutricentials platforms, we're going to start with our bioadaptive botanical complex. That's really the star of this new line. And then we're going to talk about Hydroflex Blend, which is kind of the hero ingredient in our Celltrex Always Right recovery fluid. And then we'll kind of end with blue light and IR protection, which is in our 2 SPF formulas. So let's go ahead and dig into these bioadaptive botanicals. Now, as I was saying, with all of the stress and everything going on in our lives, our skin needs to be able to adapt to that. So when we were looking for ingredients to be able to do this, we thought it would make sense to look to plants that are able to do this. And so we looked for bioadaptive botanicals, also known as adaptogens. They're plants that thrive in extreme climates. And thrive is a key word for this because we don't want just plants that just kind of barely make it in these extreme environments. We want them to thrive and really grow in those environments. And the reason they're able to do that is they've kind of developed these systems within the plants that allow them to survive. And so you can see here, we picked a blend that had 5 different bioadapted botanicals. We have the rhodiola, kind of up here as I'm pointing at. It grows in rocks and sea crevices. The chaga mushroom that grows in extreme cold. Marl root, which kind of grows on higher elevations. Siberian ginseng on the edge of forests. And then actually my favorite of all of our bioadaptive botanicals, which is our resurrection plant. And what makes this ingredient so interesting is that it's a desert plant. And so when there's no water, it curls up in a little teeny ball and it looks like it's completely dead. And there's no chance of it surviving whatsoever. But the minute it is exposed to any water, it unfurls, as you can see in this picture here, and it takes advantage of all that water. So it's really not dead when it's looking dead. It's adapted and it takes advantage of whenever there is water. And as a scientist, I always want to try things out myself. And you can actually find these resurrection plants online. I found it on Amazon. And we pulled some in and bought some and brought it into the office and tried it. And it totally works. And it was much faster than I expected. We put it in a bowl with some water and watched as it unfurled over the day. And it was just so interesting to see how it has adapted. And so with this blend of 5 interesting ingredients, we want to see if we could give those benefits that helps them thrive and provide that for the skin. Now, one thing to know about extracts is it is very important what kind of extracts you use and how they're processed. If we just slap a plant on our skin, it's not going to do what we want it to do. It needs to be processed correctly so that the skin is able to use it. Now, the specific bioadapted blend that we have is treated with natural enzymes at skin temperature. Now, the key in that sentence is skin temperature because we want it to break these extracts to break down into pieces that our skin can readily use. And then there's extensive purification and filtration. We want to harness the good stuff in the plants. And then the results is that the skin can better use this extract. Now, there's a kind of an illustration that I can give. It's not the prettiest illustration, but I'll give it anyways to kind of explain how this process works. So you think of a mother bird and a baby bird. You can't just give a worm straight to that baby bird when it's born. It's not able to digest that food. So you have the mother bird who pre-digests the food and then feeds the baby bird so it gets the nutrients it needs. So what this process does is it pre-digests this blend and it puts it in a form that the skin can get the benefits, the nutrients from, and it can get the efficacy that we want. So kind of a theme to follow is that we're always being very thoughtful about what ingredients we add and even how they're processed to make sure that you get the benefits that we are promising you. And so kind of moving on from the bioadapted botanicals into some more complementary technologies, we have our HydroFlex blend. And that is in our Celtrex Always Right recovery fluid. Now, what you see on your screen now is how HydroFlex, the blend, works. And so we have So You Don't Have To. Now, we have 3 different environments that we show the skin in. We see it under excessive dryness, so very dry, very humid, so a lot of moisture in the air, and then just normal everyday conditions that your skin would be involved in. And what's interesting about this HydroFlex blend is that this time, and this is different than the bioadaptive complex that I just discussed, which actually helps the skin adapt. This HydroFlex blend actually adapts itself to bring the right amount of moisture to the skin. So you see on the left-hand side, when you're in this excessively dry environment, it pulls in whatever water it can, but it also helps prevent evaporation so you keep the moisture you have in your skin already. But then when you move to an environment that's excessively humid, it actually prevents absorption of this excess moisture. So you see it here by the water molecules bouncing off the skin. It doesn't allow it to absorb it, so your skin doesn't feel heavy and uncomfortable. But then when you go to a normal environment, you see that it continually absorbs and continually adapts. It pulls water in, preventing absorption as needed. So it pulls water in and prevents absorption as needed to keep the skin comfortable. And the way that it does that, I'll give you the inside scoop, is that it's amphiphilic. And what it means by amphiphilic is that it contains both water and oil-loving components. So the water-loving component draws in moisture, and the oil-loving component actually prevents evaporation. So you can have the right amount of moisture for your skin so it stays comfortable. Now, moving on from our HydroFlex blend, we're going to talk a little bit about the third technology platform, which is blue light and infrared light. Now, what are they? Now, what you see on the screen here is just it's showing the spectrum of light. And so we're very familiar with UVA and UVB light on the left-hand side. That's what's always discussed with sunscreens. It's what causes tans on your skin. We know to protect from it by wearing our favorite Nu Skin sunscreen. However, there are additional wavelengths of light that we need to address. And so you see in the middle here, between 400 and 500 nanometers is visible light, and it's specifically blue light. And then if you move further, and between the 700 and 1400 nanometer wavelength, you see IR light. And so it's just a different part of the spectrum. Now you can just believe me and say that that's what's in the spectrum, but where do you actually get this? Where do you get these types of light? So for blue light, you're going to get most of it from the sun. You're going to get some from your devices, and we're always around our devices right now. I'm literally staring at my device right now, and I have a phone right next to me. And it also can come from lights that we have. I'm under beautiful, very flattering fluorescent lighting in here, and that also contributes blue light. And then on the right-hand side of the slide, you see where we get IR, it comes primarily by sunlight. And so we never can escape this light. I mean, in the past, as long as you were inside, you were escaping blue light, mostly. But then as we've introduced modern lights and devices, now you cannot escape. And so what do we do about this? Well, first of all, you need to know what blue light and IR, they actually do to the skin. And so what it actually does is it can help, or it can cause discoloration. It can cause dullness and fine lines and wrinkles. So it can cause these signs of premature aging to the skin, which we don't want. I mean, we have enough going on in our lives. We don't want our skin to look dull. We don't want to look tired. We want to look our best so we can feel our best. And so we developed two products to help protect against blue light and IR. We have our Daydream Protective Creamy Moisturizer, SPF 35. And so what that has is it has a key technology, and it's the blue light and IR filtering blend. Now, one thing you're going to see on this slide and the next slide is that there's going to be two ingredients in common in both of the blends that I'm going to discuss. There's going to be the pumpkin, and there's going to be buriti oil that are both mentioned. And the reason that both of these were included as parts of these blends is that they both are rich in lutein, which are carotenoids that absorb in the spectra of blue light. Now, they're found in lots of fruits and vegetables that are yellow in color. And the reason why they're yellow in color is that they're absorbing that blue light spectra and then appearing yellow. And so we wanted to ensure that we included those as a part of this blend. But then for both the Daydream Cream and the lotion, which I'll discuss next, we put in a different technology for each of those to kind of complement these two, the pumpkin and the buriti. So for the cream, we have this French red bell pepper. And so together, this blend acts as a free radical shield and blue light filter to help protect against accelerated signs of aging, like visible hyperpigmentation and fine lines and wrinkles. Now moving on to the lotion, you see the familiar players again, you see our pumpkin and you see our buriti oil, but this time we've added carnosine, which is a biomimetic peptide to the blend. And that is a very powerful antioxidant. So the focus of this one is antioxidant protection. So that's why it's called the Blue Light NIR antioxidant blend. And so what it does is it provides antioxidant protection to help prevent the visibly damaging effects of blue light and infrared, like the discoloration and fine lines and wrinkles, as I mentioned. And something that I didn't include in the slides, but I'll kind of give you a little teaser, is that we've performed in vivo studies. So we've performed studies on both of these products, and we tested them against skin that didn't have our product, but also wasn't exposed to blue light. So essentially nothing happened to the skin, it just existed. So then we had skin that was treated with our product, and the blue light was shined on the skin. And when they looked at the skin afterwards, the protection was as if the skin had not even been exposed to blue light. So when using both, so either the Daydream Protective Cream or the lotion, the protection was significant and was as if the skin had not been exposed to blue light in the first place, which is exactly what we want. We want to make sure that if we're talking about this story, that we can deliver the results, and we were able to. And so that's really, really exciting. Now, kind of just to close off the section about Nutricentials, beyond the 3 platforms, I just wanted to mention a few of my favorites, because out of all these products, and I've tried them all many, many times and many, many iterations of all the different products, you would be amazed at how much work goes into finalizing a formula for each of these. I'm down in the lab all the time working with our formulators, trying the different iterations. Usually I have 4 or 5 different products on my face, constantly improving, constantly kind of updating the formulas to it gets to a place where we're satisfied and we feel like we've paired efficacy, so the formulas do what we want them to do, and they also feel great, so you have a great experience with them. And so 2 of the formulas that I love is the Here You Glow Exfoliating Toner and the Brighter Day Exfoliant Scrub. Now, what I love about the Here You Glow Exfoliating Toner is that it contains 3 types of hydroxy acids, alpha, beta, and poly. And so essentially they just work through different mechanisms, allowing your skin to be exfoliated so your skin looks radiant and glowing. And so that's actually become a daily part of my own routine, cleansing, and then I'm using this toner because I just love how my skin looks. And kind of an inside story on this one as well. Before we went to production with this formula and we only had lab samples, I would constantly get emails or texts from coworkers asking me to sneak them a few samples of this product so they could keep using it until they could actually get it for themselves. Their skin had become addicted to this product and they just couldn't stop, and they wanted to keep using it to get the wonderful benefits from it. So it's definitely a product to try out. And then the second one is the Brighter Day Exfoliant Scrub. And one of the reasons I love this is it pairs both physical exfoliation, so it has some gentle natural minerals in it, and then it pairs it with enzymatic exfoliation, which come from pomegranate enzymes. Now, what I love about these pomegranate enzymes is that they are an upcycled ingredient, which means they come from the waste of something else. They actually come from the pulp of the pomegranates that would normally just be thrown out, but instead, the raw material vendor has taken this unused pulp that would just be wasted, and they found these wonderful enzymes in there that provide this wonderful exfoliation. So we're getting the benefit, but we're also using up something that would have been just wasted. And so it's just an exciting story. Now, what I'll end with real quick, because that's everything I have on Nutricentials. Once again, I could talk about it for hours, but here's a nice overview so you get a little glimpse of the vision of what we were going for. I'm going to touch just for a second on our ageLOC boost. Disclaimer, this is not one that I worked on. One of my really good friends who sits next to me in the cubicles, he worked on it. So I got to hear a lot of the inside stories and know how hard he worked specifically on the consumable on this. But let me tell you a little bit about it. So this device provides a waveform that was developed in-house and is exclusive to Nu Skin. The microcurrent provides its own benefits and doesn't work on direct current like some of our other devices. The topical that is paired with it has two functions. It was developed to specifically conduct this unique current, which is vital, and it also provides ingredient benefits separate from the device. And so when you use this device with the activating serum, it not only conducts the unique current, but it gives visibly brighter, plumper, bouncier skin, and you have that radiance and more even-toned complexion. And so it's just something more exciting to look at that's been coming out from Nu Skin. And I hope you guys all get to, well, whenever it rolls out to you, I would highly recommend giving both Boost and Nutricentials a try. Your skin will be incredibly thankful.
Lisa, thank you, thank you, thank you. You rock, and there's an incredible video of you sharing more, I think about 20 minutes on the Nutricentials line. So really appreciate your time and have a great weekend.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate this opportunity to get to share a little bit of what I've been working on.
Thanks, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.